Hey friends, it's Megan. Wednesday devotions are back. To be honest, I have no idea if this is anything that is useful for you. I've heard some positive comments oftentimes, and then sometimes there's nothing. So I guess I'll keep on doing this for a little while. We'll see. And if it turns out that it's not totally necessary, well, then, we'll move on to something else. And that segues into our topic for today, doing the hard thing, the tough stuff. Recently, I was watching, I think it was either a hockey game or a baseball game. I don't remember which. This is right now most glorious season because NASCAR is racing, hockey is still on, baseball has started, and it is a very, very good thing. Those of you who know me know I love baseball. It is a wonderful game. I know there are some of you who don't like it and say it's boring, and that's fine. You can think that. I don't have a problem with that because you're also going to probably tell me that you like soccer. Can't stand soccer. I think it's dumb. Anyway, beside the point. Tough stuff. I was watching TV and a commercial for a food prep company came on, and they had 3 things that they flashed up on the screen. I think it was no groceries, no food prep, no hard stuff. And I thought, why? Why does that matter? Why is it necessary? I grew up as a kid having to work a little harder than some folks that I knew. One of the girls that I grew up with is brilliant. She was in one of those gifted programs, and I was not. I was the kid who really actually had to work a little harder. And nothing really came easy to me except for one thing, and that was music. Everything else was tough, and I had to really work for it. And that taught me a lot. And to be honest with you, some of you have heard my conversations. Even when I got to high school, music ended up being tough. It was still a passion of mine, and I learned so much, and it wasn't all about music. But even then, some of it was tough. And so seeing that commercial got me thinking, why is it important for people not to have hard things? Is it okay to not have hard things? Maybe. But what happens when we don't have hard things? Or what happens when we ignore the hard things? It's frustrating. No, that's not the right word. It's challenging sometimes to see either my children or me or my spouse not try to do the hard things, not push through. Now, let's be honest. Do I always push through the hard things? No, not at all. I fought for probably 2 years here of trying to figure out a way to get around early childhood credits so I could teach preschool. I taught in Washington. Why can't I teach here? Well, turns out I actually need it. Turns out I'm learning things. Imagine that. Turns out it's important. And I had to make a hard choice to, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go take the classes. And I had to make the choice to do the hard stuff, to do the hard work, to try to juggle one more thing. So I'm wondering, why is it necessary to not have hard stuff? Now, I also realize there are times in your life you don't want hard stuff. I get it. How much of hard stuff have we done in the last 12, 13 months? Quite a bit. a lot. And sometimes it feels like the only thing we've faced is hard stuff, and it hasn't been easy. That's not right either. You need to try to figure out a balance, and sometimes you don't have that opportunity in your life. I think facing the hard stuff makes you a stronger person, but that's kind of cliche. I understand that. It's not kind of cliche. It's really cliche. But doing the tough stuff, doing the hard stuff, you learn. Sometimes you learn that that shouldn't have happened, and maybe that's the lesson that you have to learn. But sometimes there are other lessons to be learned within those tough, hard, challenging situations you face. Not everything should be easy. Not everything should be hard. But we need a balance. And shying away from the tough stuff, as you can probably hear Taylor practicing her ukulele in the background, shying away from the tough stuff, ignoring the tough stuff, doesn't make it go away. Sometimes it does, but that's not the best choice, usually. Granted, there are times where it's okay, probably. Not doing the tough stuff because you don't want to, because you don't want to extend the effort, it's not going to do you any good. I have experience. And there are probably some of you listening who have more experience than I do. And to those of you who are listening who have more experience than I do, thank you. Because I've probably learned from most of you about the tough stuff, about the hard stuff. And those of you that I've learned from have shown me your grace and have shown me your fortitude, and to be honest, have shown me your sparkle in the midst of the tough stuff, shown me your glitter, if I may add that. You got to have a little bit of sparkle to face the tough stuff. And I'm thankful for those who have shown me that. And I'm thankful for those who've walked alongside me in the tough stuff. Do the tough stuff. Do the hard thing. Walk through it. It's not going to be easy. That's why it's hard. Do it anyway. So what if it's hard? Figure out what you're going to learn. Figure out what difference it's going to make. There's always something to learn. Even if that learning thing is not going to happen again, there's always something to learn. There's always something to be gained. Just do it. Give it a shot. And to be honest with you, if you need somebody to walk through the tough stuff with you, ask. Ask me. Ask a friend. Ask a sibling. Ask a parent. Ask. Because probably the person you're going to ask has walked through the tough stuff too, has faced a challenging time. And they probably know a little bit more than you do how to walk through that. And maybe they can offer you some grace to walk through it. As we close this week, I would invite you to, if you know somebody who's walking through a tough time, a hard time, a challenge, pray for them. Pray for them, pray for the challenge, pray for those involved. And if you yourself are walking through a challenge, you're walking through a tough time, ask for prayers. It really does work. I know it does. I've seen it. Just ask. Somebody will lend a hand. Be well, brothers and sisters.